There we go. All right. Okay now? Good. All right. It's great to be here. My name is Mike Alexander. I'm honored to be the Chancellor here at UW Green Bay. It's a really exciting day for us to be able to open our first new dorm in quite a while. And what a dorm it is. And as a way to just introduce, I know we have tremendous momentum as an institution, and our enrollment is growing in many ways. And over the last 4 years, we've had 17.4% total enrollment growth. And that growth has come from all different parts of our student population. And one of the parts that's been the slowest to grow is our in-person dorm population. And now, with this dorm, I don't think it's a coincidence, but I believe we are 99% full for all of our dorms. And this dorm, and I'm borrowing this from someone in the housing staff who said, when we put this dorm out, that it was like a Taylor Swift concert. Right? That immediately full. And we are known at UW Green Bay for all kinds of things, for being an access institution. And when we talk about being an access institution, to some people I think there's an implication of quality. And that drives me crazy. Our students deserve the very best. And we now have a dorm that reflects the amazing work that they're doing. And this dorm is really important for us as an institution. As we bring the Kaufman Technology and Education Center online, we'd been talking for a long time that was going to be the first building of the new UW Green Bay. But really, this is the first building of the new UW Green Bay, right? Yeah. And the last thing I want to say before I do a couple thank yous is to acknowledge that, to me, the way this building came about is really important. Because it is about how universities, I think, first of all, just over a year, right, is incredible, right? And to see it full, right, and have the potential for more in the future talks a lot about where we're headed as an institution and the way we continue to do business in creative ways. So I want to thank all of you for coming. I do want to also acknowledge a few groups that are here, and I know you'll hear from the UvHi board, and I'll say more about that in a little bit. But we're incredibly grateful to the UvHi board, who've worked very closely with us to make this day a reality. I also want to thank our housing staff, who have put incredible number of hours and an incredible amount of work to make sure that we can have this building open without a hitch. And it's opened unbelievably smooth in all kinds of ways. And I want to thank Immel Construction for the great work they've obviously done to make this building look the way it looks. And none of this happens without a great architect. So I will turn it over now to Steve Cerubis from Berner Schober for his remarks. Thanks for being here.
Well, that's terrifying. Thank you, Chancellor. It's funny you talk about 1 year worth of construction, or 15 months, as it were, because I was digging through our notes and our records for the project, and we had the pre-design kickoff meeting September 11th of 2020. Right, so it was on the boards for quite a while. I went through a couple iterations trying to figure out exactly the right secret sauce on how much we could afford and how much we could build, and we made it. So that's getting there. Construction started spring of 23 with our friends at Immel. I want to touch a little bit on the whole team that participated, because it's healthy. Certainly, University Village Housing Incorporated, you guys were awesome to work for. The partnership with UWGB was, like you said, seamless, and just a great group of folks to help dial this in. There was plenty of interaction with the Department of Administration and UW system on some of the land acquisition pieces, so hugely appreciated. Berner Schober, we did the architecture and engineering, we also had some help from our friends at Robert E. Lee and Parkitecture for some of the civil and landscaping pieces. Focus on energy, their help with the Wilden Group for the energy modeling, make sure we were hitting some of those sustainable initiatives the university holds pretty dear. Immel Construction subcontractor and their subcontractors, they did an awesome job on putting this together. Had a schedule, on budget, really impressive. I wanted to plug the City of Green Bay and the Green Bay Housing Authority for some help with the financing and the bond piece, Mr. Pamprin, of course. So when we set out on a project, we start to talk about like design goals and the intentions and, you know, what are we trying to relay. And I think first and foremost for this structure, we talked about the importance of quality. Like we wanted good materials, we wanted timeless finishes, we wanted to be able to interact with the existing campus tastefully, right? We wanted a modern intervention like the Chancellor suggested, but we wanted something that could still work within the context of a pretty beautiful campus. So pretty careful selection on materials both inside and outside. We talk about the placement of the building itself, right? So we were pretty excited for the opportunity to be the kind of the node between campus proper and the housing village, right? It's sort of the edge of both and kind of the gateway in between both of those things. We have a pretty strong north-south orientation. That's so we can share sunlight on both halves of those buildings and everybody can share an equal bit of that daylighting, not always be in shadow or always be in sun. There's a pile of sustainable initiatives kind of all the way through. I think there's a talented group of engineers that worked pretty hard to make sure that we were getting the indoor air quality and the fresh air and still using the energy efficiently and sort of some of those tradable reductions for the site the whole way through. We did set it up for future solar power. Didn't quite make the cut on our bottom line, I'm afraid, but we're at least geared up to receive it someday, should we can talk up high into maybe putting that addition on pretty quick. It's been a blast working for University Village Housing Incorporated the whole way through. It's been so much fun. Big honor for Court. We've got to know him pretty well over the years. Thanks so much for letting us participate. I think I turn it over to my dear friend Paul at Immel Construction. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve. While other academic campuses were experiencing a decline in the post-pandemic world, at the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay, enrollment projections were rising. UWGB looked to its longtime partner, University Village Housing, Inc., to meet the needs of the increased enrollment estimates to provide access to contemporary, affordable housing for its students. High was steadfast in pushing forward this vision at a time of high development costs and rising interest rates. They enlisted the talented team at Berner Schobert to design the only suite-style residence hall on campus that provides a unique living learning experience for the students. Immel Construction is proud to have been the construction manager for this endeavor. Selfishly, I'd like to thank my team at Immel, but also our hardworking team of subcontractors, suppliers, and UWGB Housing for helping us deliver this project almost a month ahead of schedule. Thank you to University Village Housing, Inc. for giving us the opportunity to contribute to this important community project. This new residence hall supports an exciting era of growth for the university and enables them to meet the needs of future students. So on behalf of Immel Construction, congratulations to High and UW Green Bay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Keith Pamprin. I'm an alumni, probably the only alumni on the Alvi Bard for sure. Class of 1970, the first graduating class. So proud to be a Phoenix. This is a great day for the University Village Housing President, Court Condon, the University of Wisconsin Green Bay, and the current and future students that will excel in their educational pursuits while living in this outstanding resident hall. We also celebrate 40 years of unique public-private partnership between UVI and UWGB that now allow 2,200 students to learn and enjoy an enhanced university experience that comes with living on campus at an affordable cost. Early on in the 1980s, Chancellor Widener reached out to me when I was the Housing and Community Development Administrator for the city and asked if I knew of any mechanisms that we could use to finance private housing on campus. Hadn't given it any thought, but after a little research and consultation, we determined that housing mortgage revenue bonds would work. Since then, we have developed over 30 residence halls here on campus, all financed with housing mortgage revenue bonds, and that makes our housing not only unique from the standpoint of its design, but also affordable. Rather than seeking a private developer that would have obviously have profit motivations, UVI was created in order to be a the not-for-profit owner and developer of the housing. And I'm personally pleased that with each new residence hall, and specifically this residence hall, improvements to accessibility have been incorporated. Court Condon Hall is accessible to all. Court Condon has led UVHI as chairman of the board through trials and tribulations, including COVID, and we are pleased to honor him by having this beautiful residence hall dedicated in his name. Thank you. Congratulations, Court.
Before we get to our honored guest speech, I want to give you a little background on Court Condon. I was going to say during the turn of the century, which it was, but it was the early 2000s. Then President Bob Schaefer came to me and he said, you know, I got this young tax attorney that I would like to serve as bond counsel for our next UVI construction, which would be Thompson Hall, Liebel Hall, and Havers Hall. And that guy was Court Condon. He said, this guy is good. He does things behind the scenes. I really like him a lot. And besides, I think I can beat him up on price. And he told me, he said, if things work out, I want him to be a board member, and I want him to eventually take over for me as president. So Court successfully was bond counsel during that time. And in 2006, he became a board member. And I kid you not, he does things fast. Within 5 minutes, he went from board member to president. I will never forget the look of shock on your face, Court. Like, what just happened? But he truly, truly does things behind the scenes, gets stuff done. He knows how to motivate people. And one thing I'll tell you, Steve mentioned it, this building almost took 4 years, right, from inception. And without Court doing that, shepherding that through, this would not be a reality today. In fact, sometimes it looked a little tense if this would ever happen, and some of us were concerned, is this going to be Condon Memorial Hall? But it turned out it is Court Condon Hall, and I'm so proud that this is done, and nobody deserves this more than you do, Court. And speaking of big projects, this was a big project. Court has one more big project. Some of you know, family members, he wants to golf all 50 states. He's been stuck at 45 for about 3 years, so now you've got time to get that bucket list done. And All right, I've embarrassed you enough. I think it's time for the unveiling of the Court Condon plaque. Not memorial plaque, plaque.
So before I read the dedication on the plaque that will be on this hall, I do want to mention, to add to what Kelly's saying, what an incredible supporter and friend of UW Green Bay Court Condon has been for many, many years in countless ways that can't be described. He's gone above and beyond as a community member to really support an institution that he has no connection with other than the fact that he's in Green Bay, which is really incredible. What he's done for us is, it cannot be understated, the work that he has done for UW Green Bay. And the Court Condon Hall dedication plaque will read, as a leader in the Green Bay community, Gerald Court Condon has dedicated his energy towards helping UW Green Bay reach its full potential as a university. His contributions to our academic programs, residence halls, infrastructure, athletic programs, and the arts have contributed to the successful learning environment we enjoy. His understanding and support of the power of a regional comprehensive university in Green Bay will impact our community and students now and into the future. Please join me in welcoming Court Condon.
Thanks, I won't talk very long. To have the WBAY board and the university name this building after me is something I never would have dreamed of. I'm truly honored. And I appreciate all of you who have come today in my honor. One of my good friends, Bob Burns, he tells me that at the Pompeii architectural digs, they found birthday cards addressed to me. So it almost was memorial. Anyhow, the building, and I'm not going to give my 4 minus 2 years speech, but the building that I'm an attorney, I'm an accountant, I believe in facts. A couple things that you should know. This is our 18th building, excuse me. And the cost of this building was as much as the other 17 cost us to build. So that's fabulous. And as Steve indicated, the building started in 2020, but what they didn't tell you is that we developed a building that was bigger than this, nicer than this, can't be much nicer, and we went to bid in the December of 2021, with the bids coming out in January 2022. Now, Steve, he indicated that it was going to cost us $20 to $22 million. Wow. Don't put Steve on your budget committee. The bids came in 75% higher. And we couldn't build that building. It would have cost us 40-some million bucks. And so, but the university needed the building. So we went back and with Paul's group, with Immo Construction, and Alex is in the crowd, and BSA, we got together and we came up with design changes and whatnot to get the building reduced in size. And then by the end of 2022, let's see, let me get things straight. By the end of 2022, we put it out for bid, and voila, we got a building. And to their efforts, this was Steve's building. He was up here, but he lived and breathed this building from 2020 to the completion. We got it done, and as Paul indicated, now Matt Denny and Rob Van Donsel are in the room. Those two young men were fabulous. They did a fabulous job, Matt, I see you now. They did a fabulous job getting this building in on time, ahead of time. Well, I remember negotiating the damages if they didn't get it done on time. And unfortunately, I said, what if you get a reward for getting it early? Well, we lost because we got the reward. He got the reward. Anyhow, I got a few things. I have now those people. I want to introduce my board. Julie is not here. Julie, you're not here. Julie Graceffa is on our board. And you've heard from Keith and Kelly. And this is Ed Thompson. Ed's on my board. And Tom Durkin. Now, Tom, he was involved with everything, all the meetings and everything, and right-hand man, I couldn't have done without him. And Ian's been in the back. I see him. Ian Griffiths and the BSA people were fabulous and did a fabulous job. We went to bonding twice. We went to bonding the first time, and Cheryl Rainier Wigg of the Green Bay Housing Authority, I don't know if you're here, but her group did a fabulous job. And then Foley and Lardner, Dave Ryan, and Sandy Lundberg, they went through it twice. They did everything. It was great. Dave Mullen, is he here? Dave Mullen, our underwriter, he's underwritten all our bonds and from Collier Securities. And gosh, couldn't have done without it. John Pettigene was our attorney, and he was here. And then we not only built a building, but to do the building, we had to swap land with the Board of Regents. And in order to do that, that can be a real difficult thing. We got a Board of Regent here in Tim Nixon, but that's a real difficult thing to do. You know what the state's like. Well, anyhow, there were two people there, Alan Rossner and Jennifer Lattis is an attorney with the Board of Regents, and Alan's with the capital planning of the system. But the guy who did it was Tommy Thompson. Tommy understood what was going on, and he made it happen. Now, it cost us $1 million, but he made it happen. We ended up having my part, I guess. But anyhow, and then Julianne Creighton's here, and Kelly Thacker. They're with the university. Julianne was at all the meetings. She did a fabulous job. She's with the facilities, the residential facilities, and Kelly's in charge of housing. And they're going to do a super job of keeping track of all this. But so this is a building that if there's a will, there's a way. And that's what it turned out to be, because the university wanted it. We couldn't afford it. The thing you must remember is UvHi is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 organization. The only way we get revenue is from the kids paying the money for the room and board. And that's how we have to pay the bonds. So there's no profit involved in here. It all goes back in. Anyhow, it's $38 million less. We have a great building. So, and I'm very proud of the fact that it was named after me. And we'll just keep on going. So, all right, thank you very much for coming.
Hi, I'm Julianne. I'm our Associate Director for Residential Facilities here at UWGB. Thank you all for coming today. In closing, the plaque, the dedication plaque is kind of on your way out. And then we'll also be offering some abbreviated building tours. So if you would like to see inside of a student suite, and then also some of the main lounge areas, there will be tour guides who are some of our student staff kind of over by the green wall when you came in. And then behind you all, there are also some refreshments, so you can help yourself to that. And feel free to kind of mingle and move about the common areas too. So thank you all for coming.